Look at this hair, you guys. She has rubbed off nearly all her hair. And she is so excited today. Oh. Okay, so I wanted to record this video literally as soon as possible because I didn't want to forget a single moment of my ketamine experience to tell you guys because it was fucking wild. So, okay, so it starts out with like, you do a meditation, and now that I look back, I realize I only needed to do one of these, but I accidentally did both. But I did a like 17-minute meditation, and I have like the AirPods Max, so I just use like the noise canceling, which is so nice because it really helped me like get in the zone. So I did like a 17-minute meditation, and then I did 15 minutes of Wim Hof breathing, which I've never done that kind of breath work before, and it was fucking stressful. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever done Wim Hof breathing, but like, it's not comfortable. It's not fun. It's not relaxing. Like, it doesn't feel good. But I will say that like afterwards, like the amount of like I just feel so tingly and relaxed, and like that was really nice. So I did that. And then I also realized that I was supposed to do like the journaling and affirmations while the medication was dissolving in my mouth. But I was like, I just did the journaling and the affirmation beforehand. So it just asks, you know, like what feels out of alignment in your life, you know, what feels like it's not in balance. And then kind of like what is keeping you out of balance. And then like, what do you want to give up that's, you know, not serving you anymore, that's outdated, irrelevant, things like that. So I did that. And I feel like I'm the type of person that usually like, I had control issues. I'm trying my best to really let go. And so they talk about like, especially in your dose acclimation session, which is your first session, that it's just important to trust the process and just trust that the medication is going to do its job, and that you don't even need to like be thinking about your intention or your affirmation. Just like write it down and let it go. And so I was just like, okay, I'm really just going to do that. I don't have any expectations for this session. I'm just going to see what happens. So I take the medicine. It's like this little trochee. You know what? I'll show you guys. They come like this. So each trochee is 400 milligrams, which is a lot. I'm sorry. Each trochee is 200 milligrams. And so for my first session, I cut it in half. I took 100 last night. So you put it, and I have like the dissolvable, or no, I'm sorry. There's a dissolvable tablet, or there's like a trochee, and I did the trochee. I did grape flavored. It was pretty good actually. I put it between like my gum and my cheek, and you're supposed to just hold it in your mouth and like not swallow any of the saliva, because if you do, it'll make the experience last a really long time, and it'll cause like some GI upset, like give you nausea and stuff. And I didn't want that. I didn't want it to last that long. So I took my Zofran like 30 minutes before. Zofran's like an anti-nausea medication for those that don't know. And then I put it in my mouth, and I like instantly start noticing like the taste of it, which was grape flavored, which was pretty good. And that like I'm starting to salivate a ton, and you're just supposed to like pretty much at the end you're supposed to be like a chipmunk, like just like full of saliva, and I was. So I set my timer for I set it for 15 minutes, and then as it was dissolving, I realized that it was only supposed to be 12, and I like started feeling effects probably 5 minutes in. Like everything just like felt like very like not like the room was spinning, but the room was spinning. And I could see if I hadn't taken my Zofran that I probably would have gotten motion sickness. And okay, so I remember I looked down at my timer, and it was like there was 3 minutes left, and I was like, okay, well, I set my timer for 15 minutes. It's only supposed to be for 12, so I'm just gonna turn this off. So I turn it off, spit out my spit, and I put my eye cover on, and at this point, like I can tell that I'm like really feeling it because like I was struggling to adjust the strap on the eye cover to make it bigger to put it on my head. And then like I just like I felt like, I don't want to say like drunk, but I felt like drunk, like I had no coordination. And so oh, bless you. And oh, bless you. So I finally lay down and get comfortable, and I just like, it was almost like I was anxious because it was like, it was pretty overwhelming, like, but not in a bad way. Like I have some experience with taking recreational psychedelic drugs, and so I wasn't scared. I was just like, holy shit, like this is intense. And I just like, my mind was just going a million miles an hour. And now what I see is like that, like the ketamine is like literally just like almost like turning off your conscious mind, and you're just observing, like fully, wholeheartedly. You have no control, like your subconscious. And it was wild. Like I was just seeing like memories from I haven't thought of in God, I don't know how long, like memories of when I was a kid being at Lake Powell. Like I remember seeing like the golden grams, like the little like teddy bear, like graham crackers, like that we used to take to Lake Powell all the time. Like I was with my grandma a lot, like, and then at one point I couldn't tell if my eyes were open or not. Like that's how like frozen in my body I was. And it sounds scary, but it actually like, it was kind of scary at first because I was confused, but then I was just like, just let it go. Like you're safe. You don't feel like you know where you are, but you know where you are. Like just let it go. Just relax. Just go into it. Just let go. And once I did, it was like I opened my eyes and all I could see was like the eye mask, but it was like I could see the stars, like I was in the desert, and I could see so many fucking stars. And it was trippy as fuck, but it was so cool because I just noticed that like life experiences that I've had in my past. Oh, you are so squirmy. I just saw them in a completely different light. Like her freaking hair. Like I've always compared myself a lot to other people and their families. Like, just thought like that my family was always kind of like broken because it wasn't picture perfect like a lot of the families that I went to school with were. And I just had this revelation of like the trauma. Like there's nothing different between me and other people. Like we're all the same. Like we're all just wanting to be happy and wanting to be our best and wanting to be safe. And like I just had like such an overwhelming sense of like unity with everything, which was incredible. Like I didn't feel like the thought of comparing myself to other people because of what they had or how they looked or whatever, like just didn't make any sense to me in that moment anymore. And I still feel that this morning. I mean, obviously it's not as strong, but I still feel that this morning. And then I also had this like overwhelming sense of like, if I had a thought that was based out of fear, like I'm not good enough for this, or I don't know, like just something along the lines of that, or like comparing myself again, or like coming up with reasons why I can't do something or be someone that I want to be. And I'm talking about like creating a business online, doing YouTube videos. Like I felt like a hella imposter when I started this channel. But like, it's like I had this revelation of like, oh, that's not real. Like that's not real. That's fake. Like, oh, and it was like attached to this like emotional charge of like happiness. Like, oh, like a revelation of like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I remember, like that's not real. Like that's not real. You don't have to worry about that. And like getting it really excited. And what else? Yeah, it was, it lasted about 40 minutes. I took off my eye mask to see what time it was, and it had been about 40 minutes. yeah, it was incredible. I already feel different today. Like I feel lighter today. Like, oh, I have to tell you guys something else. I think maybe I need to do this ketamine in the morning because I just like I didn't sleep worth a shit last night. Also, my daughter like fell asleep at 5 p.m. yesterday. And while we were still feeding her like every 3 hours in her sleep, yes, it's a thing. She woke up at midnight to eat and then 3 to eat. And then after we went to bed at midnight, I was having this dream that I went to the bathroom and I peed the bed. Like, I don't know why that happened. I don't know if it's because like I had some leftover ketamine in my system and I was just like in this trance state. But like, yeah, I literally peed the bed. It was so wild. Like I woke up and I was like, babe, oh my gosh. And he was like, what? I was like, I just peed the bed. So that's funny. I'll have to talk to my therapist about that and see if that's kind of like a thing that people encounter. But anyways, yeah, like overall, like I feel lighter today as I bounce while I do that. I feel lighter today. I think another thing that I'm realizing is that like, it's almost like after I came out of the trip, and maybe I only know this because I'm obsessed with like identifying your upper limit problems. If you don't know what that is, I did a video on it and I posted it yesterday. But like if you, I'm having a hard time explaining this. Your unconscious mind doesn't communicate with logic and words. It communicates with like emotions and associations and memories and stuff like that and visuals. And so I'm having a hard time putting into words like what I experienced. But it was like after my trip, the happiness and excitement and like feelings of security that I was feeling during my trip, like I noticed that I was like worrying about little things afterwards. Like if when I said I love you, I meant it enough to my daughter. Like what? Also like being worried. Oh, I was like worried the whole time that I was doing my trip that like I was taking too much time and that like Connor was gonna get mad at me. And that's not in any way, shape, or form a reflection of how our relationship has been. I picked that up from my childhood and I picked that up from other previous relationships. But I was just like, why am I so fucking concerned? Like I'm allowed to take this time for myself to do this, you know what I mean? But it was almost like I was hitting my thermostat. I was hitting my upper limit of happiness and love for myself. Like I was surpassing that. Like I was feeling a level of happiness and like excitement and like that I had never really felt before. And it was like me worrying about, oh my gosh, did I like mean that enough? Like just worrying about stupid ass shit that doesn't make sense was me hitting my upper limit threshold, hitting my thermostat. And like, cause like your brain like isn't used to feeling that, right? Like even if consciously you want to feel that, it doesn't matter, like, because it's not like you really only get what you tolerate in life. Like, and if you only tolerate so much happiness, like if you only tolerate so much and then you start feeling more happiness than you're used to, your mind will subconsciously sabotage you to get you back down to where you were. So I think that's exactly what was going on last night. And this morning, like I just made that decision last night when I was laying there, like I'm allowed to feel as much fucking happiness and love that I want. And like nobody's gonna stop me. I'm not gonna stop me. I'm not gonna get in my own way. Yeah, like I'm changing my thermostat kind of thing. Oh, hi! You're so pretty, red hair. So yeah, anyways, that was my first ketamine session of 100 milligrams. So I'm gonna talk to the psychiatrist that was assigned to me. And you are so fucking cute. And see, you know, like, cause they don't really want you to go into a K-hole. They want you to, like, cause that's not where neuroplasticity changes. That's not the goal. So I'm like, should I take more than that? I don't know. So I'll let you guys know, I'll keep you updated. But it was an amazing first trip. Amazing first session. So cool. I'm excited to do it again. Yeah. Okay, and I would literally highly recommend this for anybody who has anxiety or depression or feels stuck in their life, because this is a really amazing tool, and you don't have to go to a ketamine IV place where, I mean, it's like $2,600. I mean, ideally, like, I would love to do that, but like, it's just not really like in the cards for me right now. So yeah, that's it. Okay, say we love you. Thanks for watching. Bye.